think I fixed what was wrong. Somebody, somehow, had a setting on Streamlabs to ultra low latency. I don't know how that got changed, and I think that was the culprit. This only started last night, right? I don't know how that got changed, but it says my excellent condition now. I think we fixed it. Okay, now we just have to get our people back in. I think I fixed what was wrong. Somebody, somehow, had a... Okay, so it looks like our excellent connection is back and we're good to go. And I don't know where we were when we were here last. How far did we get in the last... Should I just start completely over? What's going on? How bad was the transmission prior? What should I do? Should we start from the beginning? You know what? I think we will. Being that we're waiting for people to come in, I will. So we're going to talk about the murder-suicide in Minnesota. And it was at an apartment in Rochester, Minnesota. Mother and son were found deceased. According to the report, they had been there a while. And the mother was 54. They're not releasing the names. The son was 30. It was at 124 Sandbar Court, Northeast. And they were shot. There was a gun found by the son. And that's all that we know so far. Again, they're not releasing the names until the family can be properly notified. So that's what we have there. Then we talked about the Wisconsin dad who's pleading for help finding his daughter. Now, his daughter has run away before, but he's always been able to contact her in some way. She's right here. Okay, right there. There's her picture. And her father is on an emotional roller coaster, as you can imagine, this past week. She's been missing since June 20th. Officers believe she left of her own free will, possibly to meet an adult male in Green Bay. She's 5'7". She has 2 tattoos, one on her ankle and a semicolon on her wrist. She was last seen wearing a black dress and riding a mountain bike. Father said, and I quote, "For her to just poof and no one has seen her, it just puts a big pit in my stomach." Her name is Raylan Churchill. She's 15 years old. And it's been a week since anyone's last seen or heard from Raylan, said her father, Tim Churchill. He spent Thursday hanging up and handing out flyers to see if anyone knows where his daughter is. He says she's run away before, but in those cases, he's been able to contact her in some way. And I quote, he said, in my inquiries with all of her friends and family, nobody has spoken with her. Nobody had any news that she would be missing or any updates. It's just poof, as if she fell off the earth. Tim says based on his daughter's phone record, she made 7 calls to one specific number before heading to the skate park last Thursday at 10 p.m. It appears from past contact that, yes, they may know each other, said Menasha Police Lieutenant Matt Lenz. Lenz said the department is doing everything it can to locate Raylan, including coordinating with Green Bay police on the case. And said, and I quote, anytime a child is missing, it's a main concern to locate them and make sure they're safe. This just has a little different circumstance to make us a little more concerned. Obviously, possibly with an adult male in a different city, we want to make sure that we can locate her safely. She'll walk in and you'll see a smile on her face, which makes everyone smile. And she's just really energetic and she's so funny, says Raylan's friend, Maya. Maya said she's scared for Raylan's safety and hopes that she will come home. We're worried about her. Everyone is worried about her. She needs to come home and we love her, said Maya. Anyone with information on Raylan's whereabouts is asked to contact the Menasha Police Department at 920-967-3500 or the Winnebago County Crime Stoppers at 920-231-8477. Okay, so we covered those two stories on our last broadcast, but now we're going to go to this couple here because I don't know how much you heard in that about this Ohio couple. And their names are Matthew and Charles Edmondson. So, kind of a little bit confused about that. But Batavia, Ohio, a mother and father are accused of torturing and cruelly abusing their 5 adopted children. Shackled and slumped, Matthew Edmondson appeared in front of a Claremont County judge to turn herself in, according to our news partners. And this is from WCPO. Okay? 49-year-old is facing child abuse charges. These children were fostered, then adopted. And they were fostered and adopted. Again, her name is Matthew. I mean, it could be like Michael Lernan from the Waltons, right? Her name is Michael Lernan. This is Matthew. I don't know. Maybe she was named after her father. They never had a boy. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons her name could be Matthew. Okay? But they first got these. This was a sibling group. These were 5 biological brothers that were in the foster care system that were adopted by this couple. Okay? The woman's husband, they're married, is Charles Edmondson. But you see, he's serving a 3-year sentence for a sex crime. And that crime is for having sexual relations with an adult child of his. Now, I'm not sure if it's like, it's not very clear, but that's what he's in prison for, okay? Now, I don't understand a lot of this because you think if that would have happened, there would have been an investigation or something. I don't know. It's a mere happenstance. It was a mere happenstance that they found all this incriminating evidence regarding this horrible abuse of these special needs children. See, his kids had special needs. Now the prosecutor, Mark Tucholv, Claremont County prosecutor, said the 5 kids were kept in a dungeon where they were punished and they had no food or clothing. Their mother would then talk to them through a camera, similar to the kind that people have for their pets when they're at their office. Yeah, that's what she had. Okay, and that's what she would talk to them through. The sheriff said the kids have been in and out of the hospital. Why? Bleach burns, internal bleeding, bruising. I don't understand why there wasn't an investigation. Matthew and her husband Charles told the kids not to talk to anybody. We have that on video, they said. They told them police are bad, CPS is bad, adults are bad, don't talk to the nurse, don't talk to nobody. That's what they were told. The children have been relocated to foster care since February. Both the defense and the prosecution say they are safe and they're starting to share their story. Now, Matthew, the mother in this case, has a bond at $500,000 being set with the condition of having no contact with any of the children, any victims. Both Matthew and Charles were indicted on 5 counts of child endangerment and third-degree felonies. If convicted, they both face up to 18 years in prison. I don't know, this is a really convoluted story, and there's has a lot more to come out. Let me see here. Okay, let me see if this is okay, so let's put this guy up here. And we're going to talk about Lori Vallow too, okay? Don't let me forget Lori Vallow. So an Indiana man is accused of stabbing his mother to death. Floyd County prosecutor Chris Lane and the New Albany Police Chief Todd Bailey announced a murder charge against Maxwell Allen Samorian, who's 23 years old. Now, he's identified as a suspect on June 19th in connection with the death of Sally Samorian, who was 56 years old. And that, let me see, I was just doing the math. She was 33 when she had him. According to the probable cause affidavit, Sally's boyfriend called 911 at 3:49 p.m. on June 26th. The man told police that he found the woman dead and covered with blood in the home. Police say the victim's son was also found covered in blood inside the garage. Maxwell allegedly told police that he tried to kill himself. He was transported to the hospital in Louisville, treated for minor injuries, received stitches for cuts on his right hand and superficial cuts on his left hand. According to the probable cause affidavit, Sally, the mother, had a laceration to her neck and a cutting instrument behind her body. Police say he allegedly asked police while at the hospital, "Did I kill my mom?" It was the first homicide of 2024 in New Albany, Bailey told reporters. Cases like this are shocking. We're fortunate that we have very little crime here in New Albany. Maxwell was booked into the Louisville Metropolitan Department of Corrections, and he will be transferred to Floyd County, but a date has yet to be determined. Let me see here. I don't know what this is about. I'm just looking at something. I saw something about this yesterday. Did you guys hear this? About the Parkland shooting. It says a student who was the most severely wounded survivor of the 2018 mass shooting at the Parkland High School now owns the name of the shooter, who will be unable to conduct interviews and be part of documentaries without permission, according to a civil lawsuit. Anthony Borges, who's now 21, survived multiple gunshot wounds when Nicholas Cruz opened fire at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, on February 14, 2018. Under the negotiated civil settlement between Borges and the gunman surrendered rights to his name and the story behind the mass shooting that killed 17 students and faculty members and injured 17 others. Borges will not grant permission for a long time, his attorney told the newspaper. The agreement means that Cruz, who's 25, cannot benefit from or cooperate with any movies, television shows, books or other media production without Borges' consent. He signed over any rights to his name. Alex Ariza said, "The idea is to shut him out. He will not be the only one who decides when or how the story gets told." Borges was shot 5 times while trying to close and lock the door to a classroom at the high school. He was wounded in both legs. He was shot in the back, and a bullet shattered his upper thigh bone. Borges testified against Cruz at his sentencing trial in 2022, and he took the stand in 2023 against former Deputy Scott Peterson, who was acquitted of failing to protect the students by not confronting the gunman. Cruz is serving 34 consecutive life sentences, somewhere in the Florida state prison system, according to sources. For his protection, his precise location has been kept a secret. Okay. Ariza arranged a Zoom meeting with the shooter earlier in the month and persuaded him to give Borges the rights to his name. Borges did not attend the meeting, but his father did. "I have mixed feelings when I see his face," Royer Borges, 46 years old, told the media. "I don't feel rage. I remind myself that you have to know and understand his story. But I also thought, after what he took from my son, whatever he owes in this world, we should take it from him." Whatever he owns, I'm sorry. On Wednesday, Ariza was able to persuade Cruz to donate his brain to science when he dies, so it can be studied. When he dies, he will donate his brain to science so it can be studied. What turns a person into Nicholas Cruz? Was it something that we can learn by studying his brain? The attorney added that the agreement was reached to take power and control away from Cruz. The idea is to keep him from being able to inflict further torture on his victims from jail. Okay, and there was something else. Oh, I want to tell you about Lori Vallow, right? Okay. So, Lori Vallow. Shoot. All right, so there's a motion to continue the trial. State of Arizona versus Lori Vallow. Let me get her photo up there so we know who we are talking about. If we indeed decide to put chapters in here, which we should, we want you to know who we're talking about, right? Okay, there we go. So I'm going to read from you I'm going to read the motion. I just want to make sure we're still all good. We are. We're excellent connection. Great. We fixed it. We fixed it. Okay. All right. So, the defense team representing Lori Vallow respectfully moves the court to continue her trial set for August 1st of 2024 for approximately 6 months to a date in February of 2025. Lori does object and continues to assert her speedy trial rights. Her defense team believes the continuance is necessary to provide her competent representation at her trial. Lori had her arraignment in this case on December 7th, 2023. Maricopa County Public Defenders Keith Terry and Danae Suchi were assigned to the case and appeared at this hearing. On January 3rd, 2024, the court made a complex case designation for this matter and reset the trial date pursuant to this for August 1st, 2024. Mr. Terry left the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office and Gerald Bradley was assigned to take over as lead counsel in the case in April of 2024. Ms. Suchi remained. Very recently, Jeremy Caulfield was added to the defense team. He filed his notice of appearance on June 6, 2024. The argument is the discovery in this case is one of the most voluminous in any case anyone on the defense team has come across. There are over 100,000 pages of discovery to review. Approximately 88,000 of those were disclosed in February of 2024. Undersigned defense counsel is nowhere completing that review. I think they mean nowhere near. There are also hundreds of hours of recorded statements disclosed by the state and in other sources. There is a substantial body camera footage, video footage, and expert evidence that must be reviewed. We are also waiting for evidence pertaining to immunity agreements. In this case, the state has listed approximately 45 witnesses. The defense has requested the first 3 pretrial interviews in this case and is awaiting their scheduling, but clearly is nowhere near completing pretrial interviews. Further, due to the oversaturated and consistently prejudicial media coverage of this case and those involved in it, it appears that there will be a substantial amount of litigation that the defense must engage in to attempt to ensure the possibility of Lori being able to get a fair and impartial jury in Maricopa County. All that said, due to the large amount of discovery and witnesses and the defense team being nowhere near completing necessary review and interviews, a continuance is requested to allow Lori's attorneys to be adequately prepared for her case. The defense team respects Lori's speedy trial rights and her objection to waiving time, but simply does not feel that they can competently represent her at her trial considering their current lack of preparedness, which we believe is despite our diligent efforts and due to the enormous discovery to review in the short amount of time we have had to review it. Respectfully submitted this 21st day of June 2024. Office of the Public Defender. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so she's looking at now February of 2025. Is that what it said? Yes. Okay. Now the other thing is the Karen Reed case. They had a deadlock jury. Now let's see what happened with them. Okay, they are going to resume deliberations on Monday. But they are, heard someone say that one of the jurors looked like they were had tears in their eyes. Let's see, just outside the Massachusetts courthouse, police were on high alert to keep things peaceful and tensions between those who think Karen Reed is innocent and those who think she's guilty. Karen Reed is accused of hitting her boyfriend O'Keefe with her black SUV outside the home. Police officer, right? And then, hold on a minute. What's going on? Don't do this to me again. Following a night of drinking, her defense contends that O'Keefe was dragged outside after he was beaten up in the basement and bitten by a dog. Some of those who wait for the verdict outside the buffer zone around the courthouse believe that Karen Reed is being framed by members of law enforcement families. Others believe she is guilty and that her defense has done harm to a grieving family. Yesterday, John's family said, and I quote, "Yesterday we were so disgusted when the Reed supporters showed up at the VFW to harass John's family." No, I'm sorry, that's not John's family. That is Julie Guinto who's saying this. "And they called the police on them. They just cannot leave this grieving family alone. And it's so wrong on so many levels. They have glamorized Karen Reed. They have made this into a sensationalized story. This is disgusting. She murdered him, said Lindsay Gaetani. Some of those who believe Karen Reed is guilty held signs on Friday and verbally chastised her supporters, many of them who often wear pink. I've never been an activist. The case pushed me off the sofa and into the case because I could not sit there and let an innocent woman be framed, said Rita Lombardi. Another person said, I'm pro-police and I think they do a great job, but this really puts a bad light on those who do a good job because you're thinking they don't know how to investigate, they don't know protocol, and they're very unprofessional with some of their messages. And that was said by Anne-Marie Odell. At midday on Friday, the jury informed the judge that they were unable to reach a verdict, but the judge asked them to continue their work, and they concluded at 4:15 p.m. without a result. They're due to resume deliberations on Monday. Okay, and let me go back to you guys. Hey, you guys. Okay. Everybody doing okay? Okay. All right. Let me see now. You're hearing me fine? I hope so. So, that's the Karen Reed case for you. And there is something else I wanted to look at about, I think it was more entertainment news. Oh, yeah, Ben Affleck. They say he moved out of the Jennifer Lopez, the house he was sharing. Oh, let me tell you something else. Remember I told you something about lettuce was not recalled. I said next thing's lettuce. Guess what? Lettuce and fresh spinach, okay? Fresh spinach products are recalled after testing positive for Listeria, and their lettuce has been linked to a case of E. coli, okay? Okay. And Martin Mull, the comic and actor from Fernwood Tonight and Roseanne, I forget who he played. What did he play in Roseanne? Died at age 80. Okay, Martin Mull. Who did he play in Roseanne? Right here, he looks like Robin Williams in this picture right here. I'm trying to think of who did he play in Roseanne. His droll, esoteric comedy and acting made him a hip sensation in the 1970s, and later he was a beloved guest star on sitcoms including Roseanne and Arrested Development. His daughter said he died. Let's see, his daughter, a TV writer and comic artist, Maggie Mull, said her father died at home on Thursday after a valiant fight against a long illness. He was also a guitarist and a painter. He came to national fame with a recurring role on the Norman Lear-created satirical soap opera Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. We were just talking about that. And the starring role in its spin-off Fernwood Tonight. I didn't know that I've never heard of Fernwood Tonight. He was known for excelling at every creative discipline imaginable and also for doing Red Roof Inn commercials, Maggie Mull said in an Instagram post. He would find that joke funny. He was never not funny. My dad will be deeply missed by his wife and daughter and by his friends and coworkers, by his fellow artists and comedians and musicians. The sign, a truly exceptional person, by many, many dogs. He was born in Chicago and raised in Ohio and Connecticut. He studied art in Rhode Island and Rome. His first foray into show business was as a songwriter, where he wrote the 1970 semi-hit A Girl Named Johnny Cash for singer Jane Morgan. In 1976, he was a guitar player and sit-down comic appearing on at the Roxy on the Sunset Strip when Norman Lear walked in and heard me. Mull said He cast me as the wife beater on Mary Hartman, and 4 months later, I was spun off on my own show. His time on the strip was memorialized in the 1973 country rock classic Lonesome L.A. Cowboy, where the Riders of the Purple Sage gave him a shout-out along with music luminaries Chris Christopherson and Rita Coolidge. I know Chris and Rita and Martin Mull are hanging out at the Troubadour, the song says, on Fernwood tonight, sometimes styled as Fernwood Tonight. He played Barth Gimble, the host of a local talk show in a Midwestern town, and twin to his Mary Hartman character, Fred Willard, a frequent collaborator with a similar comic sensibility, played a sidekick. It was later revamped as America Tonight and set in Southern California. I have no recollection of that at all. He would get to be a real talk show host as a substitute for Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. Mull often played slightly sleazy, somewhat slimy, and often swarmy characters as Terry Garr's boss, oh that I remember, and Michael Keaton's foe in 1983's Mr. Mom. He played Colonel Mustard in the 1985 movie adaptation of the board game Clue. And that's become a cult classic. The 1990s brought what people think was his best work, A History of White People in America, a mockumentary that first aired on Cinemax. Mull co-created the show and starred as a 60-minute style investigative reporter investigating all things mundane. Willard was again a co-star. He wrote and starred in 1988's Rented Lips alongside Robert Downey Jr., whose father, Robert Sr., directed. His co-star Jennifer Tully said in a Twitter post Friday that Mull was such a witty, charismatic, and kind person. In the 1990s, he was best known for his recurring role in several seasons of Roseanne, in which he played a warmer, less sleazy boss to the title character, an openly gay man whose partner was played by Willard, who died in 2020. Did he really? So wait, what? Mull would later play a private eye, Gene Parmesan, on Arrested Development, a cult classic character on a cult classic show, and would be nominated for an Emmy. Let's see. Martin was the greatest, bridesmaid director Paul Feig said on Twitter. So funny, so talented, such a nice guy. Was lucky enough to act with him on the Jackie Thomas show and treasured every moment being with the legend. Fernwood Tonight was so influential in my life. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't remember that at all. Mull is survived by his daughter and musician Wendy Haas, his wife since 1982. Sad. Okay, let's see. That wasn't what I was coming over for, okay? Let's see. Final call for Saturday. Severe thunderstorms and tornado risks in Pennsylvania. Yikes, it might be some bad weather tomorrow. Okay. What happened here? Kentucky representative, what is this? Thomas Massie's wife Rhonda dies a week after a family vacation? What happened here? Thomas Massie announced the tragic death of his wife on Friday. He did this through a post on social media. He said that his high school sweetheart, his wife, Rhonda, went to heaven on Thursday. Her cause of death is unclear. He wrote, "Yesterday, my high school sweetheart, the love of my life for over 35 years, the loving mother of our 4 children, the smartest, kindest woman I ever knew, my beautiful and wise queen forever, Rhonda, went to heaven. Thank you for your prayers for our family in this difficult time." He added that he and his wife had just spent last week on a family vacation to Mount Rainier with their grandson. He wrote, "She was valedictorian at our high school, where we went to the prom together, accepted at MIT and Harvard, earned a mechanical engineering degree from MIT, and devoted her life to our family. We spent last week touring Mount Rainier with our grandson. She was the best mama ever. We love you, Rhonda." Massie was elected to his seat in 2012 and represents Kentucky's 4th District, which includes Oldham, Spencer, Shelby, Trimble, Nelson, Carroll, Owen, and other counties. Okay, let me see here. A nut recall, we went through that. Over 40 fresh spinach products recalled over potential deadly listeria contamination. So be very careful on the spinach, and I heard also E. coli with lettuce. A New York-based company issued an active recall of dozens of fresh spinach products after testing detected the presence of listeria in these products. So Lotta Foods announced the recall of more than 40 products of its fresh spinach over concerns that it may have been contaminated with listeria, a serious and often fatal disease caused by the spread of bacteria, Listeria monocytogenes. The Food and Drug Administration put out a notice about this on Friday. The food recall was issued after testing from the New York State Department of Agriculture and market food inspectors discovered the presence of the bacteria in a 9-ounce package of Bagopa spinach, fresh spinach. Oh my gosh, Planters Nuts are recalled. Planters Nuts recalls products over potential deadly listeria contamination. Deadly. Costco, Walmart, and other stores pull cheese for listeria. All of the recalled fresh spinach products come in different sizes. Aside from the 9-ounce package, they were distributed and sold locally in retail stores across New York. Okay, so let's look at the full list of recalled items, guys. It's a lot of foods. It's a lot of foods, right? Green salata spinach, green Gaia organic spring mix, green Gaia organic spring mix. Oh gosh, I wonder if this is the one that we have. Greens Full Circle Organic Spring Mix, Greens Full Circle Organic Baby Spinach, Green Salata Baby Spinach, Green Salata Spring Mix, Greens Organic Baby Spinach, Greens Organics. Okay, guys, I'm going to put the link in the chat. And if anybody is concerned about this, you can go read the whole list, okay? So now we've got spinach, and then we've got nuts. And I don't know. And then what is the other thing I said? In cheese. I mean, I said this last night. I really don't know what's going on. Salad is now recalled as a fatal warning issue, okay? So you've got salad and spinach. Oh my gosh, listen to this. This is a joke now. There's a risk level of garlic bread recalled over undeclared allergens. Baby milk product is being recalled. Urgent health warning. Oh my goodness. Got Planters nut products. Where's the Planters nuts now? Let me see, because I just saw Planters nuts. And I saw the cheese was being recalled. Yeah, here we are. Planters nuts. Oh boy. Planters nuts recalls 2 products over potentially deadly listeria contamination. Planters have been forced to recall 2 of their nut products, and they're recalling the facility distributes them to Publix warehouses in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, and Dollar Tree warehouses in South Carolina and Georgia. Hormel discovered that the nuts could contain listeria after producing and distributing them. This is back in April that they were distributed. So you check if you have, these are the honey roasted peanuts. And UPC code is 2900002097. The Best Buy date is April 11th, 2025, and then the lightly salted mixed nuts 2900001621. Best Buy date April 5th, 2026. Okay. I don't understand that nuts go rancid. They would never last 2 years. I never had nuts that would last that long. My nuts go bad if you don't eat them. Okay. And then we had the cheese, right? Cheese recall. Oh. What is this? Okay, this is from before. Okay, I think we're okay on this cheese. Let me see. It said, yeah, this was, they just linked that as a similar, but that was from February 13th. We're okay on the cheese, not okay on the spinach or the lettuce, okay? Here we go. Okay, guys. Infused cones, chocolate bars, and gummies. Under the Profit Premium Blends, they have toxic levels of mucimol. They're called Diamond Shrooms. I don't even know what that is, okay? Brand name Terrafina Macadamia in the raw, potential salmonella contamination. Salata, spinach and salad mixes, potential listeria. Made by Salata Foods. Blue Point Laboratories potassium chloride extended release, 750 milligram capsules, 100 count and 500 counts, failed dissolution. American Health Packaging. Aldi Bake Shop Bakery chocolate chip muffin 4 count. They may have undeclared walnut allergens in them. Glenmark potassium chloride extended relief 750 milligram capsules 100 count and 500 counts failed dissolution. Okay, Fopen smoked Norwegian salmon slices toast size for Listeria. Chocolate covered nibs made by Feve Artisan Chocolatier Dandelion Chocolate, undeclared hazelnut allergen. DSD Merchandisers Deluxe Roasted and Salted Mixed Nuts, undeclared peanut. Wildly Beloved Food, dried orzo and dried campanelli, potential to be contaminated with mold. They're made by Wildly Beloved Foods. Wow, there are so many recalls. Ice cream products, we went through that. Hedgehog food, if you have a hedgehog. Sunseed Vita Prima, due to potential salmonella contamination, made by Vitacraft Sunseed Inc. Okay, green triple dog treats, Barkworthies and Best Bully sticks may contain metal objects. Snap Chill coffee products could be botulism concerns. Okay, Hudson Harvest tomato basil sauce, potentially underprocessed, which could lead to spoilage organisms or pathogens. Tuscan salad bowl, undeclared pecans by Heinen's. Corn cake, Villanueva Interservices LLC, undeclared milk in it. Apricot roll, undeclared sulfites, made by Ahubara. Okay. Then we've got Nature's Wonderland thyroid formula dietary supplement, potential to be contaminated with salmonella. Penn Herb Company Limited. Nature's Wonderland is the brand there. Suntegrity Sunscreen Foundation, higher than acceptable mold count. Suntegrity Skincare Sunscreen Foundation. Nutrisystem Classic Delight individually wrapped sandwiches, potential contamination with Listeria. Animal feed products. ADM Animal Nutrition. Specific lots may contain elevated levels of magnesium, sodium, calcium, and or phosphorus. Ram It to the Moon dietary supplements for males' sexual enhancement. Product is tainted with sildenafil and tadalafil. Integrity products. Baby arugula, potential to be contaminated with salmonella, by Green Life Farms. Okay. Strawberry rhubarb Bakewell tart by New Seasons Market, undeclared almonds. Whole cucumbers, no brand name. Salmonella. Fresh Start Produce Sales Inc. Okay, and then that's what we have for June. Okay, guys? So those are right from the U.S. Food and Drug. I'm going to put the link in the chat just in case you're interested in what's going on. Yeah, I know, Taco. That was the name of it, okay? Ram It to the Moon. Yep. That's the name of the supplement. I didn't make it up. I'm just passing it along. I'm the messenger, Taco. Just the messenger. Okay? I'm glad you're listening today. You bought locks today? You probably are okay. I'm sure that it wasn't that one. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see. Let's go back to something other than food recall. There was something in entertainment news I wanted to talk about. We've got things we want to talk about. Let's see now. Lizzie, a street no prep racer, was 33. Student nurse found dead, had true heart, from the BBC. Sherry Papini's ex-husband talks about living under a hoax. Oh, that's what I went to say. that movie, The Hoax, Kevin. I think that we can watch that. I think it's open on Lifetime. Bird flu calls for high-risk Americans to be vaccinated as concerning new study emerges. What's going on with that? Spaghetti models. A deadly case of fried rice syndrome reminds the world of food safety. You know, that's when I found out, like, rice, which I wouldn't even think, like, just rice, just plain rice. It's so dangerous if you leave it out that it gets contaminated. I never realized that. Never. About, like, rice. Never. We often see leftovers as a convenient next day meal, but lurking within could be unseen risks. The tragic tale of a 20-year-old Belgian man's death from fried rice syndrome after eating leftover spaghetti serves as a warning. Despite the innocuous nature of saving food for later, the incident reveals how simple habits can turn deadly. Bacillus cereus, the culprit behind the syndrome, thrives in improperly stored meals, turning them into a fatal mistake. What is that about? I don't know. It says when you're buying greens, when you're buying packaged greens like these, I don't know, it didn't even give us the rest of that. I don't even understand, but I know I read about rice, like, I wouldn't even think like rice, if you left rice out, like, okay, well, you just left it out, it's rice, but it's like so deadly, just crazy. Okay. At the grocery store, pick up a bag of greens and inspect it from every angle. If you see any wilted or slimy, chances are the denser, heavier leaves will slide to the bottom. Either way, if you notice any off-color, visibly wet greens, pick a different bag. Another visual cue to keep your eye out for is bag inflation. When salad greens start to decompose, they emit carbon dioxide, which causes the bag to puff up. Depending on the bag's material, this isn't a guaranteed indicator, but looking for a flatter package is usually a good idea. Not sure? Open your bagged greens when you get home and take a deep whiff. If it smells off, it's probably spoiled. Less sturdy varieties like arugula and baby spinach tend to go faster. By day 5, these greens have reached their threshold. Non-bagged greens tend to last longer, which can be a solid way to enjoy more radicchio, kale, and diving cabbage. Okay, that reminds me about that cabbage. Oh gosh. Wow, a minivan slammed into a Long Island nail salon, killing 4 and injuring 9. Yikes. This happened in Suffolk County. You see, a minivan slammed into a Long Island nail salon on Friday, killing 4 and injuring 9 people inside the business. The vehicle came to a stop at the back of the Hawaii Nail and Spa store in Deer Park around 4:40 p.m. Somebody said something about Hawaii. There were people trapped, says Chief Dominic Albanese of the Deer Park Fire Department. We extricated them and transported them to area hospitals. The driver was semi-conscious and taken to the hospital. It was not immediately clear why the crash, whether it was accidental or intentional. Photos from the scene showed a gaping hole in the storefront, which is in a strip mall. Eric Perez said he was loading groceries into his car right across from the accident scene when he heard a speeding car and then a noise that sounded like shattering. It was a sound that I never heard before, he said. As he and his wife were leaving the parking lot, he said he saw emergency crews removing victims from the scene. We saw the ambulance and emergency workers pulling one body out, and I saw two women, I think, work there, come out on stretchers. About 150 firefighters and medical personnel responded to the crash. It's horrible. It's going to be tough for the community, tough for the volunteer department, but we're going to get through it. Well, daily use of Listerine mouthwash may increase. Hold on a minute. What did that just say? Risk of bacteria linked to cancer. Listerine mouthwash may increase the risk of some cancers. Daily use of the Cool Mint flavor mouthwash was found in a recent study to increase the level of two bacteria in the mouth, which have previously been linked with both esophageal and colorectal cancer. It is thought that the alcohol in the product interferes with the normal level of bacteria in the mouth. Two species of the bacteria were found to be much more abundant after 3 months of daily Listerine use. Researchers also saw a decrease in a group of bacteria called actinobacteria, which have previously been found to contribute to the regulation of blood pressure. Scientists from the Institute of Tropical Medicine in Belgium were investigating the impact of daily mouthwash. Participants used Listerine daily for 3 months, followed by 3 months of placebo. Most people should not be using it. Wow. I wonder what about that stuff they put in when they clean your teeth and they want to put those antibiotic things in your gums, which I think is just a racket that they use to make money. I'm not going to take those anymore. They always try to upsell you. Daily mouthwash could increase the risk of cancer and various infections. Most people should not be using it, and if they do use it, they should use the preparations without alcohol and limit the use to a couple of days. Listerine is one of the most recognizable oral care products in the world, and Cool Mint is its trademark. Listerine is about 20% alcohol. Listerine use was associated with an increased abundance of common oral opportunity bacteria previously reported to be enriched in periodontal diseases, esophageal and colorectal cancer, and systemic diseases. Okay. No more Listerine, guys. Iowa man drowned in his basement, bringing the death toll in Midwest flooding to at least 3. I remember 2006, we had bad flooding around here around this time of year. Really, really, really bad. And there were people that died around here. A girl was just whooshed right off her porch. It was horrible. It looks like Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's marriage is completely over. And Ben has moved his belongings out of their home. You know, this is the first one that it's just happened so fast. It used to be they would report on a couple for years, right? Saying they were going to get divorced, they were going to get divorced, they were going to get divorced, and it never happened. This was like the quickest moving. I don't know, but it's because of the internet, and we have like people that spot things more than just having the tabloids and TV in the past, when you used to have these rags or whatever they were. But you know, I mean, it's I don't know why that's not going over there. Come on, get over there. So he has reportedly moved all of his belongings out of the home that he shared with wife Jennifer Lopez amid these divorce rumors. 51-year-old actor and the 54-year-old singer. They got married in July of 2022. They hadn't even last 2 years, right? They've been living separately. This, according to a source, reported to Fox News. Jennifer Lopez is living at the couple's $60.8 million Beverly Hills mansion, while Ben Affleck is staying in a rental a few miles away in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. According to a source close to the couple, Friday, Ben Affleck removed all of his personal items from the mansion ahead of the on-the-floor hitmaker's return from her solo vacation in Italy. He started moving out a while ago. The marriage is completely over. Jennifer is heartbroken. She loves love and wanted this to work so badly. Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck had reportedly been trying to sell the estate while dealing with the media frenzy about their relationship. Another source told People magazine that Ben Affleck continues to live at the Brentwood rental, where he's been living for about 2 months. He seems okay. He's been at my office every day and seems focused on his work. He's also spending time with his kids. Another third source said that Ben Affleck has made work his main focus during his marital troubles. Ben's been working nonstop, spending a lot of time at his office. He has a lot of projects he's working on. He's getting excited about. He's quite hands-on with his company, Artists Equity, and he really wants to continue focusing on directing, acting, and producing. He's starring in and producing the action thriller The Accountant 2, which is in production in Los Angeles. Let's see. Affleck and Lopez initially sparked split rumors after going 47 days without being spotted together. And since then, they've been spotted together on rare occasions. The two attended school graduations for Ben's daughter Violet, 18, son Samuel, 12. They don't have any children together. Jennifer Lopez has 16-year-old twins with her ex-husband, Mark Anthony. Sixteen-year-old twins, really? 16-year-old twins, Jennifer? Jennifer and Ben Affleck are parents to Violet, again 18, Samuel 16, and Serafina 15. On Father's Day, Jennifer Lopez paid tribute to Ben Affleck in a post on her Instagram story. She shared a black and white snapshot of Affleck, 2001, when he starred as Rafe Macaulay in Pearl Harbor, our hero. She wrote with a white heart emoji, Happy Father's Day. No, I love you. Okay, let's see here now. All right, where was I now? Okay. Taylor Swift is shaking off Meghan Markle? What's that about? Meghan Markle may be a fan of Taylor Swift, but Swift is Team William all the way. Interesting. Meghan Markle wrote Taylor Swift a personal letter, but the proposal was declined. Proposal? What proposal? I don't know. I don't know. Honey Boo Boo. I don't know. I think we're going to do some. Let me just check where you guys are. Make sure that you're there, and then I'm here. I just can't believe it was somehow the latency thing got screwed up. I don't know how that happens. But that was unnerving, right? Hi, Kathleen. How are you? Hi, Sassy Darcy. Hi. Kathleen, welcome. You're a real oldie from the Chris Watts days. Where are you now? Kathleen Kanak. Welcome. Where you been hanging out? When you hear about potato salad or mac salad making people sick from sitting out, most people think it's from the mayo. It's not the mayo. What is it, Kathleen? What is it in the macaroni or potato salad? But the rice, I forget, like, I can't just believe rice. Like, I just thought I'm talking about like plain white rice or something. That was like, didn't realize just how deadly it could be. Rice and potatoes are very dangerous. All the starch, pasta too. As a general manager for a large chain restaurant, we have to temp constantly. And yeah, had to throw out, okay. And they had salad, right. I got you. I hear you. You know, I just don't think about, you don't think about potatoes. Like, potatoes is not meat, you know, it's a vegetable. It's like, okay, so you left the potato out. You know, it's strange. You're not thinking that. Right? It's the starchy. Isn't that interesting? Taco? Isn't that crazy? I tell you, isn't that crazy? It's crazy. A lot of times you won't think that. You're like, oh, meat or this or that, you know. Don't do that, but... Okay. Let's talk about... What are we talking about? I'm not falling asleep. Why do you say that? Why do you say I'm falling asleep? What's wrong with Sassy? I didn't fall asleep. I've been here the entire time, Sassy. When did I fall asleep? It's not my bedtime. You're not my mama. Okay? You're welcome, Kathleen. Don't be a stranger, Kathleen. We do a lot here now. We have movie nights. We have members perks, all kinds of stuff like that. You have air conditioning, so it's like a house fridge. It's the starch from the potatoes and the pasta. Be careful that stuff will kill you, right? You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. Now, let me just check one thing, please. I was going to check something over here. We've talked about that. We talked about that. Oh, Gypsy Rose Blanchard wants to work with Make-A-Wish after her mother made her look like a sick child to get a wish with Make-A-Wish. She wants to work with them now. In what capacity? I don't know. She wants to use her past experiences to help others. She said, I would like to work with Make-A-Wish. I feel like after all my experience, I honestly feel like I really want to give back. It wasn't fair to those kids what my mom did, getting me a wish and pretending to make me look like a sick child so my mother could get us a free trip to Disney. Okay, in the video she made, she recalled taking a trip to Disney at age 10, not knowing that her mother was taking advantage of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It breaks my heart to know that, she said, so I personally have made a donation to Make-A-Wish, because I feel like there is nothing that I can ever say that will make that right. However, giving a donation made me feel like I was giving that wish back to a child, that I was giving back what was taken. She said, I know what it's like to be a prisoner. Yeah, you do, because you were one in prison. Right. I know that inmates are not always treated fairly. I was guilty of my crime, but there are a lot of people that are innocent of theirs, and they don't get to have their voices shared enough. So I would really like to shed light on that kind of stuff in order to successfully go into advocacy work. She's looking to taking psychology courses to get the background knowledge to help others. Maybe you should have done that while you were in prison, but in good use of your time. Let's see. Creating change is something Blanchard said has become her mission. Okay, mission, okay. Let's see what else we've got here. See, if I don't talk, Sharon, you see what happens? Sassy Darcy thinks I'm falling asleep. So I'm speaking, like, well, oh, let me see what we can do here. Let's see. I'm not really talking to myself. I'm letting you know that I'm not falling asleep and that your video is still working. Okay. Alan Jackson's daughter welcomes her first baby, a son, and his name has a sweet nod to the country artist. Isn't that nice? Isn't that special? Isn't that special? A 4-foot snake was discovered in a box of donations out of Virginia Goodwill. Oh boy. That's not a good discovery, is it? Now we had human remains, and now we have a snake that was discovered in a box. I wonder if it's by where Linda is. Linda, be careful. You might have heard of bookworms. Have you ever heard of book snakes? A 4-foot-long snake was discovered in a Goodwill donation box full of books in Stafford County, Virginia, Linda. The reptile was found slithering around among a box of books. Animal control responded and removed the snake from the store. It remains unclear how the animal wound up among the donations. The Virginia Goodwill does not accept live snakes as donations, along with other items listed online. Slithering suspect seized, they said on Instagram. With the rise in temperatures, everyone's trying to beat the heat. Okay, so yeah. A South Carolina woman found a snake on her car's windshield while driving to work. Yikes. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Couple said their Amazon delivery came with a live snake in the package. Wow. That's crazy. But you know what? It's our time to wind down. We're going to play the daily, and then I've got to go to bed because it's 3:13. I've got a busy day tomorrow. Busy, busy, busy. If you haven't given the video a thumbs up, please do. If you haven't shared it out, please do. Appreciate it after the little glitches we've had to get our videos out there. That would be lovely. Can't believe we're at the end of June. I want to scream. This is my birthday month. This is my birthday month. Okay. All right, let me see. Smog. What do you got? Sonic? How could it be Sonic? There's no C. Oh, song. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Sonic. It's like Sonic. How could it be Sonic? Okay. Let me see. Oh, sign. It's got to be sign. Give me a sign. Give me a sign. Gins. Oh, inks. Ink a bink, a bottle of ink. The cat fell out and you stink. Or something like that, right? And then we can do cake. Info. How could you do oh, ions. Right, okay. And we're done, we're done, we're done, we're done, we're done. Okay. Alrighty, guys. I think we're gonna call it a nighty night. I don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring in the way of weather. Okay, I don't know. But we'll see. Hopefully it's going to be okay. We'll have our sale. We'll do the other stuff. Okay, goodbye guys. Love you. God bless. Prayers. Be good. And how to get out of this. Jane, how do I stop this crazy thing? Okay, here's this stream. Love you guys. Take care.